The 8 of us go forth not back to protect our king from the foe's attack. What? Oh, that's not in this movie? How the fuck was I supposed to know? There are riddles all over this film. Yeah. Hey guys, Movie Fan 356 here. I don't know who I was talking to. But today I'm continuing, again, same outfit, same day. I'm going to be reviewing Jumanji next for my Robin Williams reviews. Again, if you guys missed it before, if by the time all of this is done, at the time I get all my Robin Williams reviews up, you don't see a particular Robin Williams film reviewed, I'm only doing my personal favorites. And this movie I grew up on. It came out in 1995. It's directed by Joe Johnston, or Joe Johnstone, or is it Joe Johnston? Wow, Joe Johnston. Try saying that 5 times fast. Joe Johnston, Joe Johnston, Joe Johnston, Joe Johnston. So Jumanji, like I said, I grew up on it, and it stars Robin Williams, Bonnie Hunt, Kristen Dunst, and others. The plot of Jumanji is kind of a complicated one. Basically, this kid named Alan Parrish finds this board game, and him and his friend Sarah Whittle, they play it in Alan's living room, and basically things come out of this game, and things go in, and basically they start playing. Alan Parrish, spoiler alert, a little bit. It's just the beginning of the movie. It doesn't matter. He gets sucked in to Jumanji. He gets sucked into the Jumanji. 26 years later, a new family moves into his old house, and they got the house so cheap because everybody believes that Alan's father chopped him up into little bitty pieces and hit him in the walls of the house. That's what they think happened. Right. Least likely of scenarios, but whatever. And there's these kids named Judy and Peter who are played by Kristen Dunst and I don't remember the actor's name who played Peter. I just watched this a couple hours ago, actually, so I can prep for this, keep it fresh in my mind. And, they find Jumanji, and they decide to play, but what they don't realize is there's 4 pieces on the board. There's them 2, and then there's Alan and Sarah's piece still on the board, and they can't finish the game without those 2. And there's stuff coming out of the game, and Alan Parrish, who is played by Robin Williams now, because it's 26 years later, is one of the things that come out of Jumanji. And now they have to find Sarah Whittle, and then once they do find Sarah Whittle, all 4 of them have to sit down and finish this game before they bring out the entire jungle. And so they can destroy New England, which is where the movie takes place. Now, what I thought of Jumanji is, I like it. I loved it as a kid. I watched it all the time growing up. I had the old VHS tape. And like I said, I haven't watched it in a long time, so I watched it a couple hours ago to prep for this, because I wanted to review this movie like I would any other movie. I can't just review it for the nostalgia factor. I have to review it like a regular movie, because that's what it is. It is a movie. And I still like it. I still enjoy it. I still have fun with it. Is it Robin Williams' best movie ever? No. There's just... But you know how Robin Williams is. Even if the movie's not that great, he steals the show. And that's what he does here. I mean, even though the movie's good, in my opinion, I still like it. But a lot of critics out there and audience don't like Jumanji. Which is fine, but, I kind of grew up on it, so there's that nostalgia factor to it. But I watched it again today, and I still think it's a fun film. That's all this movie's meant to be, is just fun. It's kind of dark, though. I don't know if I would they say it's a family film. I don't know if I would exactly let my 3-year-old watch Jumanji just yet. But that's another thing. I have to bring this up. Please, can somebody roll a 5 or an 8? And if you've seen the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll know why I'm begging for someone to please roll a 5 or an 8. But yeah, lots of things coming out of Jumanji. There's lions and tigers and bears, oh my. No, there's lions and there's crocodiles, there's a stampede, there's monkeys, there's this hunter, who is actually played by the same actor who plays young Alan's father in the movie, which I thought was cool. I never knew that as a kid, but watching it again now as an adult, because like I said, it's been a long time since I watched this film. Watching it again now, I was looking throughout the movie, I'm like, you know, he really looks like the guy who plays his father, and sure enough, in the credits, it's the same actor, and I never knew that until now. Let's talk about the acting. The acting, Robin Williams is being Robin Williams in this film as much as he possibly can for this story, and the acting is good. It's not, you know, sometimes it's a little overdone in certain moments, sure, but this movie is pretty good and it's pretty fun. Bonnie Hunt does a good job in this movie, which I like Bonnie Hunt. You know, the Cheaper by the Dozen movies I like, Jumanji, obviously, and others. Kristen Dunst, who I do not like at all as an adult, but she was a lot better as a kid, in my opinion. Like, as a child actor, she was better then than she is now, if that makes any sense. Because I don't like her acting at all in now. But in Jumanji, she actually does a good job. Just like another movie she was in when she was a kid, I really liked, but I'll talk about that some other time. The actor who played Peter, Kristen Dunst's brother in the film, I liked him. I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but you know, I liked him. I think that, you know, he was. I think they didn't do enough with him. Like, yeah, spoiler alert, he ends up, you know, turning into a monkey later on in the film. And, I mean, they did that for a good chunk of the film, but he just... I wish they would have done more with him, because I think he had the ability to be a good child actor, and, but like I said, he didn't bother me, though. He did good, he did fine. The actor who plays the cop in the film, who actually knew Alan when he was a kid and used to work for Alan's father, I love him. Like I said, another actor I'm not remembering off the top of my head, but he looks familiar. I've seen him in other stuff, and he was great. Him and Robin Williams together are the comic relief, and there are a couple scenes with just them two in there, and it's great. This movie is not as funny as I remember it to be. I remember laughing a lot more when I was a kid than I did now, but it's still fun. It's still got its comedy moments. It's Robin Williams. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can say. I think it's a good movie, and I have fun with it. The acting's good. The storyline's pretty... the storyline's interesting. It keeps you interesting. The riddles got a little weird. Some of them didn't make 100% amount of sense. But there are riddles, like, when they land on something, and before something comes out of the game, like, it's in the middle of when they land on something, and when something comes out, there's a riddle kind of warning them of what's gonna come. And those riddles, not all of them made 100% sense, but whatever, it's fine. And yeah, I'm gonna give Jumanji a B+. I think it's fun. I still have fun with it. There's that nostalgia factor to it. And if you grew up in the 90s like I did, and you watched this movie as a kid, and if you watch it now, there's going to be that nostalgic factor for you as well. But Jumanji, I'm going to give a B+, and that's all I can say for today. I'll see you guys in the next video.